guys, it's Lavetta.
And it's Miriam.
And this is the Notorious Women Podcast, a comedy podcast about some of history's most notorious women.
Yes. Hello.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good on this rainy day. Honestly, I love a rainy day. But I'm in California.
I love a rainy day. Isn't that an old country song? I love a rainy night.
You are definitely
You're
asking
welcome.
the wrong person that question. Thank you.
I think it's a song from the 80s or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not in LA, so it's not rainy. It's very beautiful here where I'm still at.
Are you bragging?
No.
You're bragging. It's fine.
Miriam,
Sorry.
I will never, ever brag about Florida. Okay?
Okay.
Fucking Florida.
My bad.
No, I can't wait to get the hell on out of here. Well, I think that, before we start, I just want to say that this is the second episode for Black History Month. And I'm again going to lose my black card this year because last week's episode dropped literally on the first day of Black History Month, and I didn't realize that, and so I did not cover a black person, and I don't think I should lose my black card. I think I should just be put on probation. What do you think?
You know what, Lavetta? You know who did talk about a black person last week?
Who?
It was me. It was me.
You see how white people try and center themselves? You see, audience?
I saved you, Lavetta. That's right, with my cape.
White savior, white centeredness. See, the white lady had to save the black lady during Black History Month. I just...
It's okay because the white people are here for you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you, massa. Massa. I got to bring in my foghorn leghorn accent.
Oh, damn. Just for the record.
Nothing by nothing.
So they don't come at me. I'm kidding. Okay.
Of course we're kidding. If people don't know this, again, I literally said a comedy podcast. All right? This is America. Black people have learned how to laugh at racial humor.
Literal
even
everything.
In this day of, woke. It's just, like I told you, whenever somebody who's not Black American, they do a black woman's accent. The first thing they go to is mammy voice, and I'm like, what?
Yes.
Why? It's I don't know nothing about birthing babies. It's what is happening? Isn't it set in 1986? Why is you doing? Why come is you doing mammy voice? What is going on? I don't. Stop it, people. Stop it. Don't do.
And they're using that voice to tell you how they're fighting for your rights. Oh yeah, and what you should do for your rights. Okay.
It's cool. What was this show that they used to have a show within a show? Was it it was either, I think it was Insecure, and some guy was like, I hate slavery. It was they'd be watching they'd be watching a drama of a terrible soapy slave drama or something.
That was,
and the guy's like,
that
I
was
hate,
the most genius
I hate
season.
Slavery.
It's
oh my God,
the whitest writers writing. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I cannot.
God.
Well, on that note, I guess we should get started in this Black History Month. So, Miriam, my white savior,
that's
you
me.
are, I believe that you are first this week, my dear.
Okay.
So.
I am first. It's really awkward because I'm about, okay. I guess I'm no longer a white savior. I'm about to talk about a very white person. A white person.
A white woman.
Yes. I mean, white with an H. You know what I'm saying? HWHITE. White. Okay. So,
those who know. So.
What's that?
I said, those who know. They know what we're saying. Yeah. They know what we're doing.
They do. So. And we can blame the man for this because this was someone that my husband found.
Uh-oh. Now you're throwing your white husband under the bus. Miriam, what? I tell you.
White's cisgendered, Midwest. Yep. I mean, obviously his fault. Okay,
you see how
he's
hard
the
it is to
nicest
be a
person.
straight white man in America nowadays. You see, I feel
Wow.
Sal's pain. I feel it.
Wow. Do you? Okay.
No,
Maybe
I
don't ever say that again.
And Sal would agree.
He would. He really would be like, what did
absolutely
she
would
say?
agree. Yeah.
She
It's like,
probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
so I'm going to talk about a woman named Margaret Cavendish. Doesn't that
This is a
sound
very
white
English
to you?
name. Oh yeah, that's white
yes.
English. Tea and crumpets and a murder in the library. Murdered in the library.
I mean, she's so white, I can't even attain to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I can't walk in that family and be like, I'm white like you. They'd be like, no, girl, get out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I just wanted
No, they
your
would be
money.
like, I smell Jewish in them
smell like
hills.
No, I love pork. What? No. Okay. I can't keep it straight. Cavendish. So she was born Margaret Lucas in 1623. I don't know. This inspired me to do a little English accent. In Colchester, Essex, England. Her father was
English.
Thomas Lucas. She British. Thomas Lucas. And her mother was Elizabeth Layton. All right, I'll stop having a fake English accent because if someone in England is listening, thank you.
I know, they're like, Americans, terrible accents.
See, I think it's really good, but it's probably like really bad. And that's fair.
I think it would be good in the 1940s in Hollywood.
Yeah, in Hollywood, where people didn't live, right?
Yeah.
On a movie set.
Yes.
So she was the youngest of 8. So her father died when she was 2, but her mother was, remember I said privileged? Her mother was able to keep up their lavish lifestyle. I guess I am not going to stop talking in this terrible accent, without the help of a man. So this was something that was written down, but I'm here to say but with the help of generational wealth. So, I mean, cool, but
it's also
that
16 something.
23,
I mean,
20,
come on.
30, that whole thing.
Yeah.
So she records in her notes that she spent a lot of time with her siblings, that she had no formal education, but she was around libraries and tutors. They were the richest of rich. You know what I'm saying? I don't exactly know why. They were landed gentry, I think. They just had the monies and the connections. When she was very young, she started putting ideas down on paper. Now, it was poorly accepted for women to display such intelligence, so she didn't really tell anybody about her writing outside of her home, but her siblings knew that she was very smart and that she liked to write things down. So her middle brother, John,
I'm sorry to interrupt. That's so interesting when the landed gentry, well-off people don't want to educate their girls either. Like she didn't have a governess? That's very unusual, I guess. Well, maybe not. Maybe not in the 1600s. Maybe not.
I think it was a little bit early for that. I don't know. I don't think they denied her. I don't think her immediate family and the people immediately around her denied her access to these things. I think they were like, oh yeah, that's fine. I think siblings were like, let me teach you. Tutors, she could go to the tutors and ask for help. They weren't there for her. Does that make sense? They were just around. Gotcha. But her brother, John, he would talk to her a lot. They would have intellectual conversations, and he was older. He was a student of law, philosophy, and natural science. He was fluent in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek, which honestly, I think that's impressive. Fluent? That's impressive.
Very impressive. And
he became a founding member of the Royal Society. So fruest of frou-frou. The fruest.
Yeah,
why are you talking about her, Miriam?
People got money.
Money. I mean, I will get to why I'm talking about her, but I'm going to make y'all wait. Okay. So in 19, I was born in 19. Okay. In 1643.
I think I lost you a little bit. You cut out a little bit.
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're going to make us wait.
Okay. I'm going to make you wait. I am. But I'll get there. I swear. It is interesting. You're going to like this. I know. You're like, I'm going to like this. You are. Okay. In 1643, she wanted to find some independence, like be her own woman. So she applied to be, it's called a maid of honor at the court of Queen Henrietta Maria. I guess that's like a lady in waiting kind of thing. And then in 1644, this queen was exiled to France and she followed her. So she went to France and she met her husband, William Cavendish. They married in 1645 and they stayed in exile until the restoration of the crown in 1660. In exile, they were in Paris, they were in Rotterdam, they were in Antwerp. Now, there's a whole lot of politics that happened that I didn't research. I must be interesting. It's like white on white crime. Look it up. That white people said that thing. Those other white people said that other thing. And the white people were like, no.
And the 1650 something, that was a heyday of white on white crime. Okay. Oh, yes.
It truly, truly was. If those white people could just pull up their bootstraps. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and pull up the pants.
Yeah.
Yep. Speak correct English. Yes, pantaloons.
Right?
Exactly.
Pantaloons, yes. Mm-hmm. I think that means underwear, actually. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
It does. Yes, pantaloons.
Lavetta's like, I'm an Anglophile. It means underwear.
Yes.
Anyway. So she was very shy. She was quiet when she was like lady in waiting. She didn't want people to know how smart she was. So people thought she was dumb. And since like her siblings, I think some of her siblings went with her. So she like decided to allow them to think she was dumb because it was better than being rude.
Wow. This is crazy.
Because think about it. She can read, she can write. I guess women, they couldn't. Her relationship with her husband was actually a really good one from what I read. He very much respected her. Loved her very much and supported her intelligence, her writings, her thoughts. So they held an allegiance to the queen. Now, I have no opinion on this whatsoever because I don't even like a monarchy, right? But it's the 1600s, so I don't know.
Is this Elizabeth the First? Is it Elizabeth?
Well, she was with Henrietta Maria, and someone else took over. Okay. You know.
I mean, hashtag not historians again.
Hashtag not historians. Yeah, exactly. So she never had any children, and they saw a doctor because they did want kids, but he had been married and she died, and he has 5 surviving children. So he was kind of like, it's fine. My heirs will continue my line. You know how these white men are. Okay. So he regularly organized and hosted meetings of, quote, the Cavendish Circle in the 1640s. And some of the people that would show up were Thomas Hobbes, René Descartes, Marin Mersenne, Pierre Gassendi, and Kenelm Digby, 2 of whom I've heard of. Maybe y'all have heard of more than that?
I have not.
But Descartes and Hobbes, I know them. So she went to these meetings and she talked to them and had regular conversations. They don't know like how intense she had these conversations, but she was there. She was also still writing at the time, and it was uncommon for a publisher to print philosophical and scientific work written by women. But she was sufficiently brilliant and impressive that she did, in fact, publish her work without any man's help. They just agreed to it. Her very first work was Poems and Fancies in 1653. Now, her more philosophical writings were published with the assistance of her well-connected husband. But like, good on him for being like, no, this is good. She ended up producing a number of important works in philosophy. She would mail copies of her philosophical monograms to scholars and to libraries in England and beyond England, and she would request commentary and she would continue correspondence with the responders. But a lot of people dismissed her. They would respond, but they didn't like her because her philosophy went against the norms of the day. Like, she had her own ideas. Like, burn her. What is this witchcraft?
Of course. I know.
Right?
A woman thinking is witchcraft.
I don't understand. Now, the reason I found her, is that her utopian romance called The Blazing World is one of the earliest examples of science fiction. So one of the first science fiction books was written by her.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sci-fi, baby. So to all the misogynist nerds out there who get mad when a woman pops on the screen being strong, I just want you to know that this genre you love so much was created by a woman. Oh, that's so satisfying.
Oh, now you're trying to get us doxxed, because some of these fragile egos will definitely dox us. Be like, bitch, witch, murder at the stake. Nope.
Yeah,
nope,
you're gonna.
Nope. My ears don't want to hear that.
Listen, honey, sweetie, I can't help it if it's true. Like, you can look it up yourself. It's out there. In like the New York Times. So.
I mean, yeah. That's amazing, though.
Facts are facts.
Wow.
Yeah. And it explored issues of science and gender and power. It views relations between imagination and reason and philosophy and fiction. She also writes herself into the book, which details a fictional, quite separate new world and its empress. She remarks in her epilogue that she is the empress, adding that in much the same way as there was a Charles I, she would be seen as Margaret I. Yeah.
I like her spunk.
Yeah. So it's actually still, I'll talk about it later. People have like rediscovered her a couple of times. So the amount of works she had was a total of about 21. She would often have her portrait engraved on the covers of her different works so that people would know that she was solely responsible for the creation of whatever it was she wrote.
I know that's right. That's right.
Right? Like in a time when, how many writers wrote under a pseudonym?
Yeah.
And that's an example of having that level power and control, right? Yeah. She was next level rich.
Yeah. Yeah. That helps.
Her publications brought her fame and helped to disprove the contemporary belief. We're still trying to disprove it today, that women were inherently inferior to men. She used them to advocate for women's education. And she has been championed and criticized as a unique, groundbreaking woman writer. Woman writer. Can we say writer?
No.
Or is it like a woman writer?
She got titties, so she can't be just a writer.
Oh my God. I almost forgot about her titties. I'm sorry. That was wrong of me. So,
you know who never forget about the titties? Misogynist men. They always see the titties.
That's the one.
Good or bad, they always see the titties.
All the time. Why, y'all? Why? So in May 1667, she became the first woman to attend a meeting at the Royal Society of London. She criticized and engaged with members and philosophers such as Robert Boyle, among lots of other names I'd never heard of, hashtag not historians. And so negative comments, I liked this one, from Samuel Pepys, who once wrote of her as, quote, a mad, conceited, ridiculous woman, end quote. However, he was also eager to read her work. She also had a number of important admirers.
So he'd post a child for her. That bitch crazy.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
I want to say he started it, but he
yeah.
didn't start it. He just continued it. She wrote a biography of her husband. In her dedication in that biography, she uses it to dispel the rumors that he wrote all her stuff. And then she wrote her own biography. And there's several writings after her biography where she defended her writing of her biography. That it wasn't, that she didn't do it because she's egotistical. She did it to explain herself. And I'm just like, you just let me know. Just write your biography.
That's cool. This is what I don't understand. A man could get up and just slide on slippers, and he thinks that's a wonderful accomplishment that he should trumpet out to the world. But a woman can come up with brilliant philosophies, creativity, works of art, and she's bragging if she just tells you about it. Okay.
If she's like, I wrote a book. How dare you? Burn her.
All right. A man has a bowel movement, and it's a cause for celebration, apparently. But a woman creates science fiction, or writes one of the first science fiction manuscripts, and it's like, why are you bragging about yourself? Okay. I tell you.
Okay.
I swear. Am I a lesbian yet? Did I wake up a lesbian yet? Because I swear, every night, Lord Jesus, please help me wake up a lesbian, because these men's are getting on my nerves. I tell you.
I'll let you know.
Okay. That's how that
Not
works,
yet.
to the
I know that.
to the bigots out there. Like, you just pray to be gay.
You pray to be gay.
It rubs
you're bad
off.
soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just hang out with too many gay people.
You just hang out with gay people, and then poof, you're gay. That's how that works.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's how it works.
Worse yet, you read a book with a gay person in it. Ooh, that'll do it. Yeah.
That would definitely I need to read more books with gay people in it, and I'll wake up gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's how that works.
I
don't need to study biology to know biology. Okay.
Exactly.
Literally says half this country. Okay.
Oh God. Yes. There's that.
Okay. So she died pretty young, in her 50s, in London, and was buried in Westminster Abbey on January 7th. So being buried at Westminster Abbey tells you how up there she was. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, not only like rich, but respected.
Yeah.
Her husband arranged for a monument to be erected. The epitaph reads, her name was Margaret Lucas, youngest daughter of Lord Lucas, Earl of Colchester, a noble family, for all the brothers were valiant and all the sisters were virtuous. Like, her husband was hashtag goals, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's right.
Big up. He's representing for the good guys out there, the ones who aren't.
Yeah, he is. Good on him.
Yeah. I'm glad she was able to find that, because imagine not having that at home, like, and then having to deal with these nincompoops. Like, that's an old school term, right? Like, out in the world, like, you don't have any kind of love and support at home. And like, even with all her money and status, that's what's so interesting. So if she had to fight up against that, an average woman,
like, she had,
what did she do? Yeah.
Who could she talk to? Money and status isn't going to give you someone to talk to.
That's very true. Very true. Yep.
So that is I will say that she was lost to obscurity until Virginia Woolf brought her back into the conversation in 1925 in The Common Reader. Then they forgot about her again. Then they found out about her in the 1980s. Just general scholarly interest. They started writing about her and discovering that she wrote the first science fiction book. Now, most recently, her plays have been examined in performance studies for blurring the lines between performance and literature, challenging gender identities and upsetting gender norms. 1600s! Listen,
1600s.
I know she's the whitest woman, but I like her.
Yeah, I guess I'll let this slide, Miriam. Covered a white woman, the whitest of women in Black History Month. Okay.
Okay, I know, I hear it.
But speaking of another white woman, I wonder that you say that because about I mean, again, everyone knows if you listen to this, I am an Anglophile. I know my black card is in jeopardy again, but Agatha Christie is credited with creating the idea of the final girl. So creating the horror genre of that ilk where it's the final girl. And I wonder if she was inspired by Mrs. Cavendish. Like,
I wonder.
And also that name, I know that name Cavendish from an Agatha Christie novel. Like, so I wonder.
Well, now I have to
if
research her.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. So, well, thank you so much for
I just thought
sharing
you're a Trekkie,
that.
so you'd enjoy it.
You know I'm a Trekkie. Live long and prosper.
That's right. I can't do
engage.
it. I can't do it.
Nope. No, that was fun. That was fun. I think I'll let it slide that as a white woman in Black History Month because she is credited with writing something that a lot of black people have found success and acceptance in, sci-fi. So science fiction.
That's what I was thinking of when I wrote about it. That was the plan. That was the whole plan.
That was the plan?
From the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
can't you hear
I absolutely
it?
believe
The honesty.
you. Yes, I do.
Because I'm speaking out loud.
Well, on that note, from one pioneering woman to another pioneering woman, my notorious woman this week that I'm covering is, again, I have to make up for last week, but it is a black woman. Power to the people.
Okay.
Happy Black History Month. Now, have you ever heard of a woman? Now, let me just set the stage. So I was inspired by the recent beef. Rap beef, hip hop beef between Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. I don't know if you've been following it.
I have not. Tell me everything.
Oh my God. Oh no, you need to go online. Okay, so Megan Thee Stallion basically released a Hiss. It's so good. It's one of the best diss records I've ever heard in my life. And I'm a true, I love hip hop. Tupac is my favorite rapper. It's no surprise, followed by MC Lyte. I love all the ladies, Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, but also DMX. I like them to go in. That's, Lil Kim, of course, even Nicki Minaj, and I'm a Megan Thee Stallion girl, so I'm definitely a hottie.
I know you are. Yeah.
But so I was gonna listen to Megan, but it's because I'm so proud of Megan because she's also bringing not only female MCs but Southern female hip hop artists. Since I can't even think of someone since Missy that's been a Southern MC that I really, really love that much, and I feel is really representing. And because Megan's Southern, she's from Texas, so that's a very specific kind of hip hop too. But anyway, I digress. So she released this song called Hiss, and it's not just directed towards Nicki. She went in on all her haters. People think it's she's dissing Nicki, Drake, her exes, and probably other people that in the industry know who she's talking about, but we as the public don't know who she's talking about. But she went in, and it is so smooth. It's high caliber, diss. I love it, love it, love it. And I can shake my ass too, which I'm gonna do, because she's going on tour. So we're gonna have to go and see Megan Thee Stallion.
You are.
So there's a line in there where it's there's a couple things that you can attribute to her shooting a shot at Nicki, who has been shooting shots at her. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. But one of the ones is the line that something like, y'all hoes ain't mad at Megan. Y'all mad at Megan's Law. Now, you know what Megan's Law is, right? That's the law where you have to register as a sex offender. And Nicki Minaj's husband is a registered sex offender. True, it's something that happened when he was a teenager with a younger with a woman, but it's this whole thing that so, and she's married to this guy, right, and had a baby. So so Megan's y'all hoes ain't mad at Megan, y'all mad at Megan's Law, which is a bar. That is a bar. And it goes so fast. You're like, did she just say what I think she just said? And what I love about it is that she's educating the folks, because a lot of people had to go and look up what Megan's Law is. And it's a very important law because this little girl lost her life because she was living near a sex offender and her family did not know it. So there's that. So this
listen, you know so much. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I have, yeah, let's not even get into what I have to do on my downtime. But anyway, when the record was released, Nicki Minaj heard that and went fucking ballistic and spent like, I don't know, 48 to 72 hours online nonstop going off.
Wow. Okay, I need to see this. Oh.
And so I think after like 3 days of just going in and in and in, she released her response to what she thinks is a diss track towards her. It's again, it's Megan going in on a lot of people. It's not just her, but she took it personally, and I understand why she took it personally, because if I was married to a sex offender, and somebody taking shots like that, I would go ballistic too. I get it, but she went on and on and on, and then released her thing called Bigfoot, making fun of the fact that Megan was shot in her feet. And yeah, and the fact that she has big feet, which I'm like, that's not even a diss, because Megan is like 5'11". Of course she got big feet because she's tall. Like, all models have big feet because they tall. Like, so anyway.
It's like, you have brown hair. Okay. And
it's like, yeah. So then there's a battle on the charts that's been going on, but it looked like his took it. Like, Megan's like thing is, you should go and listen to it. I already downloaded it. I've been trying to twerk to it, because Megan always make a banger that you can twerk to. So exactly.
I'm not a good twerker. Look at me. The whitest dance alive. Here we go.
Miriam, we both have badunkadunks and we don't know how to twerk. So we might have to take a twerking class.
It's bad. We might have to do that.
Yeah,
that would be so fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
We'd walk in, they'd be like, yes. And then they'd start teaching, and they'd be like, oh my, okay. Oh.
Oof. They're like, what a waste of ass.
Like, so sad, really.
It's true. It's like a tall, terrible basketball player. It's like, what?
Right, exactly.
So in honor of that beef, my Notorious woman this week is the originator of the hip hop rap beef, Roxanne Shante. Have you ever heard of Roxanne Shante? Okay. Roxanne. I want to be your man. Okay. So Roxanne Shante. Now my sources today come from a couple places, but the main sources are from an NPR interview with Elsa Chang from 2018, a YouTube channel by the name of One Stop Hip Hop. That was really good. And then Roxanne Shante's YouTube channel herself. And Roxanne Shante is spelled with an S. So now again, this is the story of Roxanne Shante and one of the first rap hip hop beefs on wax. Okay. So,
on wax.
Roxanne on wax, on record. So like Roxanne Shante was born Lolita Shante Gooden on, I think I'm pronouncing the right, Gooden, on March 8th, 1970 in Queens, New York.
Okay, Queens.
Now, she grew up in the Queensbridge projects of Queens. And so she was a working class, comes from a, working class, poor background.
I know exactly where that is.
But she also comes from, do you? I'm not that familiar with Queens.
We used to pass that. Remember we talked about Pirates versus Hobos? We filmed some of it there.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like I'm really pushing for PVH, you guys. We call it PVH. No. All the cool kids know. But yeah, I know the area. I'll stop talking.
But Queensbridge is very famous in hip hop because a lot of like big heavy hitters, but heavy hitters come from this actual housing projects. So now she was born Lolita, so she was surrounded by hustlers. So even though you live in this situation, it don't mean that. And again, the projects, I know it gets a bad rap because it's only like, honestly, about 10% of the people who live in the projects are assholes, and they make it worse for the rest of the people living there. Most people living there are they're just trying to go to work. They're just trying to do what they do. And all it takes is like 10% of trash to make the whole experience trash.
I would walk. Okay. Exactly. I would walk past literally those projects all the time. Anytime the train was like not working well and I just didn't have the patience to wait for I would just walk there. It was always fine. It was cute. It was like a cute walk. Like, yeah, it's like a bunch of apartment buildings, but and it was fine.
Yeah, it's probably gentrified by now because this is the 80s in New York, and I've heard that from even hardcore New York lovers. Like the 80s in New York was really rough. So, but she, her mother was very strict. These people are still raising their families and their children and doing the best they can and working hard.
Yeah.
Now, she was, again, she was surrounded by a difficult circumstance, people making, just working every day to make ends meet every week, every month. So there's some good things about the projects and there's some bad things.
This was again, like Warriors era.
Yeah. Right? And also people always had a hustle. People have a hustle in New York now, but they always had a hustle. So for instance, her mom would be like, you better stay in this house because you're a young girl. But her mother would go out in the evenings and would carry her cart around or like whatever her stuff is, a bunch of supplies to the ladies of the evening, the sex workers nearby. And she would sell them hygiene products and snacks.
What a genius move.
Genius
move.
Wow. Yes. And the ladies were probably very, very happy to have somebody come over bringing baby wipes, tissue, mouthwash, toothpaste,
little candy bar, little hungry,
water. Yes.
Right?
So her mother basically started her own mobile business to make ends meet. And so young Lolita grew up. She had that hustler spirit in her as well. But she was also like very popular. She was outgoing. She was charismatic. And she loved to rap. This new pretty new art form. The kids would just get together because it started with the kids just hanging out, going to parties, and she would get into these rap battles or ciphers where you would have to do it. You would basically have to freestyle or improv a rap like on the spot.
I remember seeing some of that, and I've improvised in theater, and the skill, I can't even pretend. It's just unbelievable. I just
unbelievable. And that's where like original hip hop, that's all of the originals and the greats from back in the day, they all got their start doing this kind of stuff because they were just kids hanging out, right? They're just kids. And again, she was very popular. She was one of those kids who always had friends, and she was outgoing, and she was also a young girl who had like a lot of confidence, right?
That's amazing.
But she got to be known around the neighborhood and in the borough in general as like really good, having like real nice skills, as they said, like real nice skills, like good at rapping. So when she was about 14 years old, now she's 14 years old. So she's crossing the street to the from her housing building to across the street to go to do the laundry. Her mother sent her to do the laundry. So as she's going in the building, she sees this man, a neighbor who she's seen around the neighborhood by the name of Marley Mall, sitting in his apartment because he probably didn't have AC. So he's sitting out there looking down. Right. He was like, "Hey, Lolita," or I don't know, maybe they call her Lo or something. "I heard you got real nice skills, girl. Like, come on up here. I want you to hear a beat. I have an idea." And she was like, "No, my mama told me to go here to the laundromat." So, and she's like it is today, you got to go. You got to time it because you got to take your clothes out as soon as the machine stops, because otherwise people will be touching all your clothes, right?
Yep.
Nobody want that.
If you're lucky, they'll leave them wet on top and not just throw them,
Yeah. But so she's like, "I'm doing this, da da da." He's like, "Come on up here." Now, side note, this is a PSA. 14-year-old girls, if you're listening to this, never go up to a man's apartment by yourself. Even if you've seen him around.
Maybe.
Even if you've seen him around, go and get your friend, your brother, like somebody older.
Your big brother. Yeah.
But this was a different time.
Someone older.
And I wasn't clear about her prior relationship, but again, he grown, or he at least 18, 19, and she 14. Okay, so just PSA, have somebody go with you. But that's how it is when you're in the music industry. You're creative, like you collaborate, as you know, with a lot of people, and so people might be like, "Oh, let's just try something." So she was like, literally, like, I'm doing my mama's laundry. He was like, "No, I want you to come up here and hear this beat and see what you can do with it." So what's crazy is she literally goes upstairs because she's like, she knew she had like about 14 minutes. So she went upstairs, Or it was like it's 16 minutes or something like that. Like she broke it down, and because like how long the cycle was, where she had to be down there when it stopped. So she goes upstairs and he's like, "Listen to this beat. Have you heard this?" And so he played her the beat of a song that had been playing on the radio, and she was like, "Okay." So he's like, "Can you freestyle to it?" So she's just freestyling to it. Right now, a little bit about Marley Marr. Now, even though he was also a hustler, like a lot of people in the neighborhood, but he was at the time he was an assistant and a DJ for a radio show, one of the only hip hop radio shows, hosted by a man named Mr. Magic. But real talk, Marley Marr was really a record producer. That's really what he wanted to do, but you got to have a job to make ends meet. So, it's a good job because it's at a radio show. It's for a radio show. Now, at the time, around this time, so this is in 1984. So in 1984, this song called Roxanne by a group, a Brooklyn group, hip hop group called UTFO, for Untouchable Force Organization, had released a song called Roxanne, and the hook is Roxanne, I want to be your man, right? So in the song, basically, it's the structure of the song is that the four members of the group are all talking about this girl named Roxanne who they try and kick it to, but they all fail.
Cute.
Right, so they all take their turn and be like, I talked to this girl and and I said and she was like, and it's like, and then again the chorus is Roxanne, I want to be your man. So
I've
Marley
heard this
had
song.
this idea.
I know this song. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know this song.
Yeah.
So Marley Marr had this idea to have the girl that they're talking about, the fictional Roxanne, in the song respond in a diss track called Roxanne's Revenge. And he wanted Lolita, who's 14, who he heard that her skills were nice, to take the mic and just do a freestyle from Roxanne's point of view.
Okay.
Right? So it's basically to create a diss track to these guys, because they're talking about, she was this, she was uppity, she was sedity, and he used the original beat from an instrumental version of Roxanne. Now, part of this was Marley Marr's creativity, but also he and his boss, Mr. Magic, were pissed off because, like I said, their hip hop show was one of the only hip hop shows that was on the radio at the time, and UTFO was scheduled to appear in the show, and they didn't show up, so they left him high and dry.
Oh.
So I guess they figured, they done got too big for their britches, because the song was doing really well. Actually, it was being played on the radio, so it was doing really, really well. That's why you've heard of it, Roxanne. So that's why Marley Marr came up with this idea. So again, she's like, I got laundry downstairs. So she said in about 7.5 minutes, off the dome, just freestyling, she laid down the track for Roxanne's Revenge. She finished it and then went back downstairs to finish the laundry, because her mama was going to kill her if she didn't finish the laundry. Now, needless to say, Roxanne's Revenge was huge. It sold 250,000 copies, hard copies, not downloads. People had to go to the store, and buy these
out of their house to do it.
They had to buy it. Even outsold the original song Roxanne.
Yes. Okay.
So they released it on pop art, on the pop art label, and because it became so, like, it was hitting the charts, it became so popular that they actually got a cease and desist letter from Select Records, the original label for Roxanne. Because they were also pissed. They were like, how is this out charting our song when it's just a diss track to our song?
That's amazing. Right? So what did they do?
So they sent a cease and desist. And so after, again, boys and girls, they had to actually print up like physical copies of records back then.
Yes.
This is even before like regular cassette.
Imagine,
like they had
if
the
you
big
will,
8 tracks,
like a 3D printer. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they had to, so in subsequent releases, they had to use a different beat, of course, because it was copyright infringement, right? So now, again, UTFO was like, how the hell this is out charting our song when they're dissing us, right? But it's a genius move. So what they did was, UTFO and Select Records, they came up with their own Roxanne.
Oh.
To respond. So basically they found, so after this, Lolita became Roxanne Shante. That was her stage name. She became, and that's what she, in the song now, the song is so cute. It's like the most adorable, innocent, like dissing too, because basically she's just making fun of their names. Like one of them in name, and she's like, his name sounds like a hat. She's saying that they got weak macking skills on the ladies, but more importantly, she said that their MC skills were not as great as hers. Again, this is a 14-year-old girl that's like, y'all whack, I'm the freshest on the mic, da da da. She's going in. She's 14 too. It's great.
She's probably right too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she's probably right. So she, after this, or around this time, again, she's going around already doing her own thing, just at parties and get-togethers. She joined the Juice Crew, which is basically a group of other artists, and it's basically a musical gang of sorts that they would battle each other with their MC skills. So we're getting rap battles. That's cool. But they had a crew, like the Wu-Tang Crew is that kind of thing. Like Wu-Tang Crew against like Bad Boys and that kind of label. But that's where that came from.
Lavetta, do you know why I know what you're talking about? I have the whitest reason why I know what you're talking about.
Why?
Because Lin-Manuel Miranda, that's what they did, is they had their crew. This is how white people know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So, and that's straight up hip hop origins, roots.
Yep.
Now, again, UTFO and their label was like, what? So we're going to get our own Roxanne. So they hired a young female MC named Elise Jack, and they released a song called The Real Roxanne.
Okay.
To play the fictional. So basically they were doing what Roxanne Shante and Marley Marl did, but they're having their own version. So basically she also dissed them too, but they were like, well, we want to get some of that money, that 250,000 units being sold. And so now Elise was later replaced by Adelaide Martinez. So they initially had Elise take on the moniker of The Real Roxanne, and then Adelaide took over, and she was known throughout as The Real Roxanne. Now, this song, again, was basically the same approach that Roxanne Shante had taken. But they were hoping, like you said before, that lightning would strike, or we said off mic, we were having a conversation, lightning would strike twice. It didn't really, but it was a success. But all of this led to what we call the beef wars, like the hip hop Roxanne wars. They were basically on wax, right? So
that's awesome.
Now it was so funny because this led to, you ready for, you want to know how many different people, different versions on this idea of records that were released?
How many?
Over 55 separate diss and response records.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
What the?
Some of the responses in the diss records were to Shante, Roxanne Shante, and some were to UTFO, who was originally dissing this fictional girl named Roxanne, right? Okay. Now, basically, it became a proxy war that included interactions like, so here's some of them. You ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Roxanne's Doctor was a song by a man named Dr. Fresh, claiming to be Roxanne's doctor and dissing her. Because she's saying, oh, I'm all fresh, I'm this and that. And so the doctor's dissing Roxanne, right? Another record is the parents of Roxanne.
Oh.
Their response it's basically from the POV of Roxanne's mother and father dissing UTFO. The original makers of Roxanne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And apparently these people were from the South, and they were not. So the people in the North were like, what's this going on? What is going on? So this is Roxanne's parents. And then there's another girl. So our Roxanne Shante was 14 when she recorded this track. Then they had a song called I'm Little Roxanne, who was purportedly from a 7-year-old Roxanne.
Oh,
talking about her POV. Oh, yes. So if that's true, if that Roxanne was really 7, she would be the youngest recorded hip hop artist ever, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have a couple more. So there's Roxanne's doctor, the parents of Roxanne, I'm Little Roxanne, Roxanne's brothers, who responded to UTFO. Another female MC named Sparky D who went at Roxanne Shante and Dr. Fresh. So Roxanne's brothers are defending her against. And then they have Rapping Roxy, Roxanne's sisters, who were dissing UTFO for dissing Roxanne. So it became so ridiculous. There were so many cross like now all of this happened in over just a year or so. So
really?
I mean,
that's so
like 84 and 85.
Roxanne has so many family members. Roxanne, I'm your cousin. I have something to say.
Roxanne's cousin, Roxanne's baby mama, Roxanne's dog, Roxanne's dog catcher.
Yeah.
Roxanne's postal worker, mailman. Roxanne's grocer. Roxanne's bodega
Roxanne's
owner.
favorite bodega.
Yeah. Now again, all this happened over a year. Now eventually, this would lead also Roxanne Shante squaring off with fellow female MCs like Sparky D and a couple others. But the Sparky D thing became a thing where they actually enterprise on it. So she and Sparky D were both on the same record going back and forth, kind of like a boxing style matchup.
Oh, that's
where
cool.
It's a battle rap on wax, because usually battle raps were live. And so this was called
Lavetta.
round one.
Lavetta, what does on wax mean?
On wax? Mm-hmm. Oh, I forget, for the kiddies out there. So back in the olden days, that's what they would say when something was on a record. A record, did you know this retro thing where you have the record player and it can scratch easily? So sometimes you have to buy a record again. Yeah.
It would turn around over and over again.
And then it would come out and you would hear it, and it'd be a little needle drop on it. And sometimes you'd scratch it, or if you dropped it, you'd be like, damn it, I got to go and buy another one.
And we liked it.
And we liked it. Now, I will say, this is the cutest thing, because I will say, like, the disses to Roxanne, so the responses to Roxanne, and let's say, like, with Sparky D, the fellow female MC, it was always, the diss to Roxanne was all about her being young, having braces, and being petite.
Oh, cute.
Now, Sparky D went a little bit further and said she basically had an STD. Who knows? But again, this is a 14-year-old girl. We're at 15-year-old girl.
I hope she did not have an STD.
No, she's 14. Now, on this record, round one, Shante responds by calling Sparky D fat and a hoe and dissing her MC skills.
Okay.
So this is all so adorable now.
Is it cute?
Now, all of this, it's a cute because it's so, like, innocent in a sense that, like, in the 90s, like, arguably you could say Biggie and Tupac got killed because they had a beef that was on wax that went physical, went in real life, and that's why they both got killed. So now all of this, like I said, would not only spark the idea of a beef on wax, but it would also lead to other sort of similar, like, rap beefs between MC Lyte. So it'd be MC Lyte versus Antoinette, Lil' Kim versus Foxy Brown in the 90s, and the current beef between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh my God.
So that is why
that you have taught. Let me tell you, you have taught me so much today that I did not know. Yeah, you really have. I don't know much about this at all.
Oh, good. Good.
I love it.
I mean, it's Black History Month, so I got to teach the people the Black histories. I just got to teach them. And this is for like just music fans. It's also fun because I love it. Like, no one got killed. It's all on wax. That's what I mean about it being innocent. Like, this 14-year-old girl's like, I'm the freshest, I'm the dopest MC, and then you know, and like, you can't talk to me. Like, it's just very, very cute and innocent. Cute. To like, y'all hoes ain't mad at me and Megan, y'all mad at Megan's law. So I mean,
that's a little.
This is where we
are. That's a little darker. Yeah. That's a little darker.
Yeah. This is many years later now. So now Shante, back to Shante, Roxanne Shante. Now again, now Lolita used to be Lolita. Now Roxanne Shante. She would go on, keep doing her thing, because again, she was only 14 when this came out, and she was still living in the projects. And because back then you just didn't understand. Back then also, there was none of this like you get like deals right away, or you can go on the internet and make money from advertising. Like right now, I feel like people pop off, they get like a viral like song and they can make money like right away. Like, you know what I mean? So, and get management and all this other stuff, but that's not what was happening. So, but she went on because obviously music, she loved music and she was good at it. And she went on to release other hits, including Have a Nice Day and Gone Girl. But her MC battling days were sort of over when they were kind of waning, because again, hip hop is a very young sport. She wasn't doing those like local neighborhood battle raps anymore. She was trying to go mainstream and get like make some money, become a professional. Yeah. Now in 1985, but she always was proud of her skills as a battle MC. In 1985, she battled Busy Bee Starsky for the title of Best Freestyle Rapper, but she lost because the judges, who included Curtis Blow, who was one of the original hip hop guys, later admitted to her that he didn't vote for her because she was a girl.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Because God forbid, even though she's the freshest MC, she got the freshest skills, you're not going to vote for her because she's a little girl. Now, by the age of 16, though, she had a child, and she had survived being abused by an older boyfriend. Oof. She was also being cheated out of her money by managers and others whom she trusted. Because again, this is like a 14-year-old gets this viral thing, and then you know, and now in the interview with Elsa Chang from NPR, Shante was asked, would you have called yourself, quote, would you have called yourself a feminist back then? Quote, absolutely. Yeah, I would call myself a feminist today. We need that. We need to hear that. Little girls needed to hear that. There are so many things that we as women would be able to do. Not that we physically can't do them, but sometimes we mentally hold ourselves back from doing these things because we are told those are man things, or those things that men are only good at, or those are things that men are only strong enough to handle. End quote.
Yes.
But she had to be a feminist, because to be a 14-year-old and be like, I'm the freshest, you can't see me. Like, it's just so like cute and cocky. I just love it, because she was just so like, you know, like I said, it's very innocent in a lot of ways.
Women are only held back because they're told to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can see where she was like, I don't understand. Like, I'm good at this. Like, what do my budding breasts have to do with, you know what I mean, with a skill that's from my brain to my mouth? You know, but that's what society gives us. And that's right. That's some bullshit.
It's bullshit. We know it's bullshit, especially at this age, because at that age, you're still very like sure of yourself as a young woman. Yeah. It's not until you get older when people start undermining you, or you get in relationships and you're like, well, maybe I'm not as dope as I thought I was, but I always thought I was dope. I was, you know.
And men will try to put you down to convince that's what the gaslighting thing. That's why women are screaming about gaslighting, because that's what that is.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Now, but she, even at that tender age and having gone through the things that she went through, she still lived by that moniker and that belief. So in 1989, she released Bad Sister. And then in 1992, she released a new a song, an album, The Bitch Is Back. And then she released a greatest hits anthology in 1995. So she continued on, you know, obviously hip hop changed. It changed in the late 80s, early 90s, and then early mid 90s. Definitely changed a lot. It became, I would say probably in the 90s, it became probably really, really lucrative for the first time.
Yeah.
Now, at the height of her career, though, Roxanne Shante was referred to as the Queen of Rap by the New York Times.
Nice.
And has been noted as a hip hop pioneer. Now, and Billboard editor Natalie Weiner called her, quote, rap's first female star, end quote.
Nice.
She's considered a mentor for generations of female MCs and an early advocate in rap for female empowerment. By the age of 25, she was mostly retired from the recording industry, and she continued to make occasional guest appearances and live performances, as well as always mentoring young female hip hop artists. She made a cameo appearance on VH1's hip hop reality show Ms. Rap Supreme, giving rap battle strategies to the finalists of the show. She was in a series of Sprite commercials during the 1990s as well. She returned to performing in 2008 with her song Roxanne's Revenge. And when her song was ranked number 42 on VH1's 100 Greatest Songs of Hip Hop. So she got a little resurgence in 2008 when people rediscovered Roxanne's Revenge, the original song that kicked off the beef on wax, the rap battle, the rap disses. And because rappers, especially female rappers, they didn't often get the financial opportunities or the multi-year endorsements, deals, and partnerships that artists have now. Because literally artists can come out and have like a viral thing and probably get like a good like 18 months to 2 years off of one like viral thing and get deals with like, I don't know, like a meal with you probably need a little bit more longevity than that, but you have opportunities to make money. You have opportunities to do a tour now that you can probably organize yourself because of social media. Like you could make a pretty mint, like you can get in and get out and probably make a couple $1 million off of one song if you play your cards right.
Wait, Lavetta, hold on. We should write a song.
My name is Peaches and I'm the best. No, that's from Coming to America. See, I just stole it. See, I'm not good at that.
Did you ever watch Community? I'm going to just real quick.
Of course I did.
Oh my God. Okay, so my favorite episode, season 3, episode 10, it's the Christmas episode. It's the Glee one where they're putting on a show. I watch it every single year around Christmas time. And there's this moment when they're like, hey, Britta, you have to be the lead. And Britta's like the mute tree because she can't sing. But she's still part of it. It's very important. It's cute. I like it. And she said, I don't know what the song is. And he goes, don't worry. It's in your heart. And she goes, duh. And she goes on the stage and she says, it's Christmas time. And I think if you and I were to write a song, it might sound like maybe a little bit like that. I don't know.
Certainly a rap song, like we might be able to come up with a little ditty for like Christmas, but a rap song, again, my toes is big, my head is small. I don't know. I
2 plus 2 is 4. I panic.
Plus dough. I don't know. I mean, but you know what? Honestly, because now we have mumble rap and lean rap where the guys are high and then she don't have a nana.
Why did you do that?
It literally
you're literally doing that right now.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a recording of what we're talking about now?
But we have to get like we'd have to get a proxy. We'd have to get a young Tinder thing or a young guy. We write his lyrics and then we can make money off of him. So we
go get an intern somewhere. It's fine.
So.
We got a plan. Okay.
Exactly.
New plan.
Now, but again, like in the 90s, it really took off for hip hop artists. They were able to get a lot more money. But even those early ones like Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, they had to pivot. Even though they were hugely successful, they had to pivot early, to get that money. Queen Latifah went into management, Naughty by Nature, as well as acting. Yeah. MC Lyte went into, she continued to, because MC Lyte is actually one of Queen Latifah's mentors and like inspirations. And MC Lyte is one of my favorites. She is so cold on the mic. She is one of my favorites. I love her flow. And she had to pivot into acting, and she's a very successful and well-known host and voiceover artist.
Oh, very cool.
But many of them, and then some of them pivoted to becoming radio DJs and raising their families because that's a steady income, and they can use their expertise in music and musical history to. So that's basically what Roxanne Shante ended up doing, like pivoting to hosting and becoming a DJ. Now in 2017, a dramatized biopic about her life called Roxanne was first shown at Sundance that year. And it became like a critical darling, especially for the lead actress, Shante Adams, who was fantastic. And it was like a breakout performance for her. It appeared on Netflix. It's called Roxanne. And it's about this whole like experience with Roxanne's revenge and all of this and like her life. But it was a biopic based on Roxanne Shante's life. The film was co-produced by Forest Whitaker and Pharrell Williams. So now currently, Roxanne Shante is the mother of 4 and she is thriving. I am happy to report. You can hear her regularly on LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Sirius XM channel 43. You can also follow her on the social medias and her YouTube channel. She's very active. And like I said, I'm so glad that she lived long enough to get her flowers as a pioneer, as a rap pioneer, hip hop pioneer. Like she's still around and people can say to her, I watched an interview with her and Lil' Kim, because Lil' Kim was probably the first, Roxanne Shante was the first rap superstar, female superstar, but superstar in general, actually. She was, because at 84, very, very early on. But like Lil' Kim was the one in the 90s that really took it sort of mainstream. And she also that's where like, especially hip hop sound kind of changed. But Lil' Kim, we all say Lil' Kim is the queen. And even Roxanne Shante said that. But Lil' Kim, because Lil' Kim is adorable, said to her, no, you're the queen. If it wasn't for you, Roxanne Shante, I wouldn't have had a career. I wouldn't have known what to do. None of us would have been here, especially you really represented for the female MCs. Like you made us see that it was possible, that we can really be taken seriously in the game. Because these men, even though she was 14, they really took her seriously. Like they took her seriously. And one of the reasons that the song was so successful, Roxanne's Revenge, is because young girls could hear themselves. Like they've been going to these parties and, guys being guys want to keep them out. But they're like, well, I've seen other female MCs like really kick it in these rap battles. So to hear somebody on the radio like really taking off, like, and again, they're all coming for her. Roxanne's brothers, Roxanne's doctor, Roxanne, like all these iterations based off of her freestyle off the dome for 7.5 minutes. Like, so I'm just so happy for her that she really gets to live long enough to get her flowers, for people to rediscover her. She is so dope. She does this thing, because when I'm in the car, I listen to the channel, and she'll be like, she has like these little sketches or like little, what do you call them, where they're sort of like have a nice day. Like she'll have like have a nice day, and then they'll give the news. Like it's all based on sort of like her isms, Roxanne Shante isms. And I just love it because somebody like LL Cool J, who's massively successful beyond hip hop, gave her flowers, is giving her a platform, so she's not forgotten. And again, like I said, she's thriving. You can find her on Sirius XM channel 43, Rock the Bells. And she's just still thriving. And that is Roxanne Shante, the original and the originator of the hip hop rap beef on wax that is currently just a shadow of the current beef between Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. So, which is getting kind of ugly because the Barb's, Nicki Minaj's fans, they actually doxed Megan Thee Stallion's mom's grave.
Oh, what the
and they released they had to put up extra security at the grave. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and like I said, Tupac died, Biggie died. Like this is actually the Roxanne Shante beef is like a really sweet call back to a more innocent time where people just they did their beef on wax, and then it was all about like, oh, you petite, you a little girl, like you got braces. Like what's it even
like keep it on the wax, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't dox
people.
Necessary.
Don't go to people's
homes.
Don't
dox people. No.
Either way, like I said, I love both of these ladies. And I also came up in a time, I was a young person in a time where female rappers got along. Like they were like supporting each other. Like, Missy was bringing everybody along. It's like, let's make this money together, And Roxanne Shante similarly has that kind of attitude. Like she's so generous she's not a hater. She's so generous with the younger people. For her to bring Lil' Kim on there and be giving Lil' Kim her flowers, and Lil' Kim's like, no. you're the queen of rap. Like, you're the one who started this. That is the spirit in which we should be living today, and not this like back and forth. Don't be doxing people. Like, keep it on wax, keep it on record,
Yeah. It's like, make it artistic. Get creative.
Make it artistic.
That's fine. That's okay. We have to express ourselves, and sometimes we fight. Go. You and I get it.
I mean, the disses are harder than like you have braces, but like, or you have a big foot or whatever. I mean, because Nikki also went in on her mother dying and talking about her dead mother, and and Nikki should know better, because in Black community, you would die over talking about somebody's mama. Like,
nope.
Unless it's all in fun, like your mama jokes or whatever, but you just talking about people's dead mama, like, that might get you stabbed, girl. Like, you catch them hands.
My kids just
like,
let me tell you, my kids just discovered your mama jokes, and I was like, go ahead and give me one. Let me hear your funny joke. I'm waiting.
What did they say?
I'm still waiting. He walked away because he knows that his life is worth living.
Your mama's so big-headed that she got a balloon. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, but he knew better than to give me one.
Oh, they grow up so fast. But that is Roxanne Shante, and I thought that was very fitting for
much.
Black History Month. Yeah. Go and find her. She's so cool. She's so dope. She's got positive energy. It's all love.
Yeah.
Like, because she's been through a lot. Sometimes when we find our legends, they might be too bitter for us to appreciate them, or for us to, they're not open to get the love that we want to give them, but not Roxanne Shante. It's all love. Like, Snoop Dogg was on her show giving her love, and he was just like, so like she's getting her flowers as she so deserves. She well deserves them. So well, I guess that wraps it up for another episode of Notorious Women Podcast. Guys, I should have said this at the top. I keep forgetting. Our producer is going to kill us. But also remember to follow us on all the things, but copy the link to the podcast and send it to your friend. Also, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Subscribe. Do they subscribe on the TikTok? Like, what do they do?
Yeah, you can follow us on TikTok, and you can follow us on the Instagram. It's Notorious Women Podcast on all the things. Just go to all the things and type in Notorious Women Podcast. If you want to email us, it's notoriouswmpod@gmail.com. And send us an email if you have thoughts. You can also DM. And do all the things. Yeah. Tell your friends.
And tell your friends and tag Shante. Roxanne Shante. Tell her how much we love her. Like, she is so positive.
We should follow her too. We love her.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to follow her.
I love her.
Yeah, that's done. Yes. And Patreon, if you guys want to support the show financially, if you want to give us as little as $2 a month, or you can do a one-time donation, you can go to patreon.com/notoriouswomen. That's patreon.com/notoriouswomen. And that wraps it up. Power to the people. Happy Black History Month. And stop asking ladies for their titties, to show their titties. I'm just saying, unless they want to show you their titties.
Right. Let that be their choice. There you go.
And I will say this, because I am partial. I am a hottie. Go and listen to his, because it is awesome. You will get your life. It is hilarious. All right, guys. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.